Hey there, kittens and cool cats. It's your senpai, Zalikai kitty. Just kidding. But yeah, hey, before the audio starts, I just wanted to let you all know that this particular audio is just something that I wanted to do with my OCs. So, yeah, if it either doesn't make sense to you, or if you don't want to, see my OCs and this type of audios anymore, then I guess let me know down in the comment section. But, yeah, I just wanted to do something fun and different. So, yeah, I won't take up too much of your time, but just wanted to let you all know that. Anyway, enjoy the audio.
And so, I think it'll help keep your audios fresh if you do something like that. Plus, it'll give Zyla and Mayu a chance to show off their writing and voice acting skills with other characters. So, do you like the idea, ZiiZii? A curvy female mermaid with fairy wings and curly black hair asked nervously, twirling a lock of her voluminous hair around one of her webbed hands.
I mean, it is a totes awesome sauce idea, Z-Shad, but I'm not sure how my Kool Bean subscriber base will feel about a story read-through of characters they've never even seen or heard of. I'm already way behind on audio requests, and I do want to let you guys voice act different characters besides OwO Sanses, like OwO Papyrus's, Benny and Ink Machine characters, Cuphead characters, FNAF characters, Legend of Zelda characters, and maybe Baldi's Basics characters, so our channel doesn't get boring, but...
Come on, Zalikai. Please. It's not fair that you get to have all the fun after all.
A short, yet extremely curvy female skeleton with ombre blue hair desperately pleated, her ectoplasmic, orchid-colored cat ears perked up, and her long, ectoplasmic cat tail of the same color wagging quickly side to side. ZiiZii scratched underneath one of her devil-like ram horns on her forehead that were still in the process of growing with a deep sigh. She looked into Z-Shad's slanted blood-red eyes and the hybrid skeleton girl's eye sockets that had neon pink pinpricks for pupils and rubbed her temples while gritting her fangs like an annoyed mother. Okay, you know what? If I say yes, will you two go away and let me go back to working on my videos with Mayu and Brianna? ZiiZii asked the girls numbly, her four tails that she recently finished growing swaying low to the ground, the hot pink tips whipping against the floor. The girls nod obediently, similar to young children actually agreeing to listen to their parents. ZiiZii rolls her eyes playfully and giggles softly with her arms folded across her chest. Okay, how about this then? Remember that story in the dark green notebook about her origins and about her demonic cat side? Well, I'll make the prologue of that my next audio after finishing the part 2 of the short CS audio, so the awesome sauce kittens and cool cats can hear our writing ability outside of Undertale. Both girls were pleasantly satisfied with ZiiZii's answer and get up from the couch, then leave the living room after Z-Shad had shapeshifted into a creature with legs in order to walk. ZiiZii smiled softly and went back to working on her latest script with Mayu and Brianna just as you had entered the living room, listener John. You sit on the couch next to her with a deep sigh, making ZiiZii perk up and remove her earbuds as she enjoyed listening to music while she works. She smiled brightly and scooted closer to you until you were both sitting centimeters apart from one another. Her tails wag excitedly behind her as she tries to make general conversation with you. Hey, your name! I didn't know you were coming over today. I would have picked up my writing stuff a bit so this place wasn't so messy. So, how are you doing today? Did you come over for video games and junk food? 'Cause you know I'm always down for that. ZiiZii giggled happily, talking a mile a minute as she was known for being extremely friendly and hyper with those she was closest to. She even let them call her by her childhood nickname, ZiiZii, instead of Zalikai. Like you, listener John. You smile weakly at ZiiZii so as not to worry her, and shake your head no. This makes ZiiZii raise a confused eyebrow as the normally hot pink circles of varying sizes on the fur parts of her body change to white question marks that are all the same size, showing her confusion and curiosity. See, just like her mother, ZiiZii is able to show her emotions through her fur pattern, which makes it nearly impossible for her to do certain things, such as lie. You notice ZiiZii's confusion and lie through your teeth, claiming you just wanted to visit one of your best friends because you were, quote-unquote, in the area. ZiiZii narrows her eyes unamused and scoots close enough to close the small space between you and her on the couch. Her fur pelt changes to dark green upside-down exclamation points as she frowns worriedly, and her foretails anxiously thump against the back of the couch while she nuzzles her plump yet curvy body against your arm, unaware of how close she was getting to you. You know, I don't believe you for 1 second. Come on! Tell me what's wrong, Kool Kat. I'm a really good listener if you need to vent to someone. I promise that I'm super good at keeping secrets, and you can safely confide in me knowing that I won't tell anyone anything that we talk about. ZiiZii smiles comfortingly at you, not noticing your soft blush at how innocent her expression looked without her even trying. You shook your head quickly side to side to clear your thoughts before returning ZiiZii's gentle smile with one of your own and nodded, agreeing to tell her what was wrong. This made Brianna and Mayu exchange gentle smiles with one another before grabbing their supplies and go into a different room, leaving you and ZiiZii alone in the living room. During that time, ZiiZii meowed happily and sat up while smiling wide enough to show her razor-sharp fangs. She then looked at you with a focused, semi-serious expression as her fur pelt changed to black circles that were all the same size, and her ears tilt themselves forward. Alrighty, your name. Tell me what's got you feeling so down. Maybe I can help. ZiiZii smiles softly after placing a gentle paw on your knee, her 4 tails swaying calmly behind her. You smile warmly at ZiiZii, then look down at the floor, trying to think of how to word out your feelings, knowing that ZiiZii has a slight tendency to be over-emotional with certain subjects. However, ZiiZii claims it's just because she cares deeply for those closest to her. Anyway, ZiiZii patiently waits for you to say something, with her paws clasped calmly together in her lap while smiling gently at you. A long, calm silence passes between you two before you take a deep breath and look at ZiiZii with a depressed yet stressed expression. You slowly begin to explain to one of your best friends about what's been making you feel so down. I see. That sounds pretty heavy, Kool Kat, ZiiZii gently says after listening to you vent about your situation for a bit. Her ears flatten as she stays silent for a bit with a sympathetic frown. Her fur pelt changed to dark blue teardrops of varying sizes, while her tails lay limply on the couch next to her. You sigh, and just as you're about to say something, ZiiZii looks at you with a happy smile. Her fur pelt changed back to its normal hot pink circles of varying sizes. Why didn't you come talk to me about this sooner, your name? You know that I worry about your well-being constantly. That includes your mental and emotional health as much as your physical health, you dork. ZiiZii giggles before placing a gentle paw on your knee and looks straight into your eyes with a soft smile. Alright, listen up, Kool Kat. Life can seem really hard at times. As the oldest daughter of the Grim Reaper himself, I know that better than anyone. I mean, look at me. I'm part demon cat and part skeleton, with a bit of devil mixed in, all because my dad is brothers with Satan. So, as you can imagine, I get some pretty weird looks from people. And being so, you know, fat doesn't help. But whatever type of situation comes my way, whether it be good or bad, I do my best to try and stay positive and search for the bright side of it. Why? Because what's the point of being upset and looking at the negatives of a situation that's out of your control when all it's going to do is cause unwanted and unnecessary stress? I know that sometimes depression and anxiety are sometimes unavoidable, for lack of a better word, because I deal with that amongst other things on a regular basis. But self-harm, moping, isolation, and all that type of stuff doesn't make the situation better. If anything, it makes the situation worse. So, if your mind is feeling stressed and you feel like you're fighting a losing battle against your mental problems, just remember that you aren't. You can always go to a trusted family member, a friend, or a teacher or authoritative figure that you actually like and are comfy with. ZiiZii smiles warmly while adjusting her dark red, rimless, semi-square glasses with one finger in a very anime-like fashion. Luckily, they stayed on her face with magic, so she didn't have to worry about them falling off due to her purple, fluffy cat ears being on top of her head. You sigh deeply and look at ZiiZii. What if you don't have anyone like that you can go to? Oh, Kool Kat, don't be so silly. If you can't go to any of the people that I just suggested, then you still aren't alone, because you can always come to me for comfort. Like I said, I'm a good listener, despite the fact that I like to talk. A lot. ZiiZii shyly blushes, a bright blue lightly dusting her cheeks before smiling widely again. Besides, you just gotta keep telling yourself that these bad times and rough patches in your life won't last forever. I know your name, and you're a totes awesome sauce person who's emotionally and mentally strong enough to take on anything that comes your way, even though it seems tough at first. It's important to remember, though, that just because I'm saying all this stuff, that you should develop some unrealistic mentality about the world and think that it's filled with cupcakes, rainbows, and non-stop hugging, because you and I both know that ain't how the world works. I just... ZiiZii looks down, shyly picking at her claws as her bright blue blush deepens and her fur pattern changes to pale pink diamonds, showing her embarrassment. I don't want you to forget how to smile, Kool Kat. After all, your smile is, one of the most awesome sauce smiles I've ever seen. It helps me get through the day knowing that you're happy and smiling, I care about you, you dork! ZiiZii shyly pulls her hood down over her slanted eyes, one being a green cat eye while the other was a skeleton eye socket with a neon rainbow heart that took up most of the socket for a pupil. You chuckle at ZiiZii's shy compliment, knowing that for some reason, ZiiZii's been doing that a lot lately, dropping random, shy yet subtle hints about how nice your smile is, or how much better her day gets when you're around. But There's no way someone like her would have romantic feelings for someone like you, right? As you began to get lost in your interesting thoughts about you and ZiiZii now that you two were alone, she perked up with a semi-loud, excited meow, snapping you out of your rather explicit fantasies. Oh, we've been talking for so long that I didn't even notice how late it is, she purrs happily, standing up from the couch and stretching with her arms above her head. When she did this, you could almost see her sweet spot due to her black hooded dress that resembled a reaper robe being so short that it only came to about the middle of her thick thighs, covered in soft pink and purple fur. Blushing brightly, you quickly reach over and pull down on the bottom hem of her robe dress while trying to avert your eyes at the same time so you didn't see anything. This makes ZiiZii look down at you while raising a curious eyebrow as her fur pelt changes back to white question marks and she tilts her head in confusion. Huh? What are you doing? Is there something wrong with my dress? She looks down as her 4 fluffy tails sway gently behind her, trying to see if there was some sort of loose thread or torn piece of fabric. Your blush deepens as you sit up and wave your hands in front of your face frantically and hurriedly shake your head. ZiiZii giggles playfully as her fur pelt changes to bright orange hearts to show her playful and possibly flirty side. She lightly punches your arm, similar to when Brianna flirts with someone, only ZiiZii wasn't doing it to start a wrestling match, considering that Brianna was the tomboy out of the main 6 girls that you knew lived in the house at the moment. As you got up from the couch, you noticed ZiiZii's face was covered in a soft blue hue from blushing and her tails were curled shyly to one side. Her fur pelt had changed back to pale pink diamonds as she nervously taps her paws together and picks at her claws. Just as you're about to ask her what was wrong, she shyly speaks up. Listen, I know you have to go and everything, but I just wanted to say that I enjoyed spending this one-on-one time with you today, and it takes a lot of courage to do this, so just hear me out, okay? I was wondering if I could see you again in a more, intimate setting? You know, as in just the 2 of us? Wait a second. The shy aura, the nervous body language. Was she asking you out on a date? Softly blushing, you take a few steps closer to her and decide to ask about it. A date? Well, ZiiZii let out an embarrassed purr and pulls her hood down over her eyes as she shyly wraps her black and pink feathered wings that ran the length of her back and formed a heart shape when closed around her body. I mean, yeah, I guess it kinda is a date. I mean, if you want it to be, that is. She lets go of her hood and looks up at you, smiling happily as her fur pelt has changed to bright red, upside-down hearts as her neon rainbow soul eye glows brightly with hope. So, Kool Kat, what do you say? Wanna go on a date in a few days with me? She asked with a sweet smile as her already bright blue blush deepens. You stay quiet for a few moments, thinking about your answer. When you decide, you open your mouth and say,